Hello everyone. A little bit of more Meet Your Maker shenanigans. I am, of course, your host, Phoenix61. We're going to raid some brutal outposts. These are all player-generated bases, basically, right? And this is the highest difficulty level in the game. I don't know, it's like, sometimes it's the way the game calculates difficulty. Sometimes you come across some that seem easy, and then sometimes you come across ones that are pretty brutal. So we'll see what we get this time around while it loads in here. I also have like kind of a specific loadout that I stick to, and sometimes I'm stubborn and should probably change my loadout, but we'll see what we're up against here before making any changes here. This is a pretty hefty looking base. Somebody spent some time on the exterior design here. We'll see if we can get rid of some of these guards that are hanging out on the outside. Sometimes people put these here, right, and you're seeing me struggle just to try and get up on top of the structure here. But sometimes people put, guards just kind of patrolling outside, even though there's no real form or function to it, because, well, people like me want to go and kill them, right? And so sometimes you get some kills. Another thing, too, with these, especially these flying ones along the outside, you'll see, right, I'm running out of ammo, and in this game you've got to go and pick up your bolts in order to be able to fire them again, and I'm struggling to get them. But yeah, some of these, with these flying ones, I don't want to shoot at him like this because my bolt, if I miss, it'll just go flying off into the outside, and I'd have to go and hunt it down, which is kind of annoying. So I'm trying to get a shot on him where we can shoot towards the structure, and then that works out fine, right? So we get rid of him. We'll see if we can get this guy finally, and so our bolts are going to go and get these. And we got one more, the cannon back over here. He shouldn't be too hard. Yep, so I'll have to go get that. And I was curious if this structure here, this tower thing that he built, serves any sort of purpose. It doesn't look like it, though. I know what I do is I have, like, them go down, like, I have, like, a tube going down into the structure. Yeah, he spent some time making this look like a big-ass mansion here, which looks pretty cool. And occasionally you can catch somebody where they haven't filled in their build, and you have like a hole that goes into their base, and you get an easy run on the gen mat. It usually makes it look like a big door here. And just realized I am missing a bolt. We're going to go get that. We're going to need this. I'm going to need all three of my shots. Oh, and another guard, too. We'll melee him. Pick up the bolt. We're getting the XP for killing them, too, so I suppose it's not completely useless to go and kill those guards when they put them on the outside of the base like that. We'll check the doors and corners here as we go around the corners. Anything down here? Maybe a tomb? He's got ramps. I guess technically the harvester could come down this way. Nope, yeah, it's a tomb. Grab this. Right, so it's always nice when the players building the base make that available to get. It's really frustrating when somebody blocks it off and you can't get the tombs. There didn't be anywhere between like 1 and 4, I think. You can have up to 4 tombs, maybe? 3 or 4. Alright, Harvester's going this way, so we know we probably gotta go that way to get to our objective. I'm just curious what's over here. Maybe another tomb. It's got acid cubes everywhere. Oh, yep, so he wants us to grapple through the acid, and I usually pop a bubble shield in that case, but instead, yeah. Just to get, like, sometimes, right, because you can't see enough to see if there's traps through there. You could, like, throw a grenade or shoot, right, the walls, but I dropped a bubble shield right as we went through. We've got the Phoenix pod going, too, which would make me respawn without resetting the base if we were to die. Take care of the guard. Got a flame trap here. Bolt shot there. That looked like a hollow cube, and we were right. Alright, well, we're on the right path. Spent some time decorating the inside here, which is something that I don't always do. I love, like, building to, like, you know, to make it, like, fun and exciting, but I'm bad at, like, making things look pretty when I build bases, when I build outposts. Alright, up the ramp. See if there's anything around the corners. Nope, nothing in here. Might have some second phase stuff, which would be after we get to the gen mat. Those traps would trip. Get our bolt. Just checking all the nooks and crannies, because the hidden traps are the ones that get you. Yeah, this is pretty typical flamethrower setup here, which I hate, right? So he's got it so that it's annoying to try and get your ammo back. Alright, we'll get rid of this thing. So we can go over there, right, but we have potentially fall into the acid. And I'm just not quite close enough for my, like, magnetic pickup to work there, but we were able to make it there. So this next one, I'm just not even going to deal with it. Right, I'll let it trigger, and then we'll just run past it. We run the risk of getting killed by something else, though. Alright, we're going to drop our shields here, because there's a lot going on in this room. Get rid of the guard, and then the flames. And we're out of shields here. So we're going to have to grapple and get out of the way of some of this stuff. One more guard. Yeah, rooms like this work pretty well. You usually get a few kills with them. Right, some open space, some traps that can track you, like those laser beams. And then guards. Collect this synthite here. And more guards coming up. And we'll grab our ammo. Check up and behind you when you go up ramps like this here. Another open space, maybe? Just coming through, checking for traps. Yeah, a lot of these, like, where there's, like, pointed blocks coming down from the ceiling, you know, that, like, a lot of times they put, like, drop bombs up there. Alright, so we've got one more Phoenix pod, so I can grab this and drop our Phoenix pod, right? So when you grab the gen mat, you'll lose any Phoenix pod that's sitting out. So we'll place a new one down, so we'll get one free death here where the map won't reset. And if we die more than that, then we're going to have to start over here. Let's see if we get through this on try number 1. And I remember I left that flame trap, right, that flamethrower up along this path right after this room here, yeah. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm going to make a run for it. That's the flame trap. So we got past that, fine. Check the ceilings when you come down. That looks like a hollow cube, but it's not. Bombs, run away. Didn't see where that was from, but we tripped it, and it's done now. That's a hollow cube. That one he needs detection on, right? He needs it so that it picks you up sooner, which is a mod you can put on the traps. Alright, so then it would see you quicker, and it would disappear and then drop the bombs, but I was able to shoot through it, no contest. I think we're going to make it out here. Sometimes there's always that one last trap around the corner when you come out. So you got to check for that. And then so sometimes just because of that I like to sneak to the side. Just in case they've got traps pointed towards the your on-ramp there, right, your starting point. Made it through that one. We'll give him some accolades here. Fun and artistic for sure. Spent a lot of time on the exterior of that for sure. We'll get our XP and resource rewards. Moving up the rank for the season pretty quick here. We'll go back. We got time. We'll do one. We'll do one more. See how this goes. Since that one was somewhat quick. I say it like ticked, so it took me what, like 8 or 9 minutes to get through that one probably. And sometimes I'll build for a brutal base and somebody gets through it in like 3. I'm like, come on. Alright, we can rank up advisors. We'll push the button. I do love these animations. I wish that like yeah, it's so creepy. I don't know if he's like getting liquefied or what, but he's getting liquefied and then cloned and then coming back up. But anyway, it's pretty fun. There does need to be, right, once we get him to a level 100, there's not too much of a point other than for experience for leveling them up. There needs to be something for veteran players here. So we'll go back. This menu used to never take this long. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, we'll go and find another brutal map to raid. This one's got a lot of pistons and what was the other one? Bombs? The drop bombs? I forget what the trap's actually called. I call them bombs. Bomb shooter thingy majigger. Apply to this guy's outpost. Alright, so see, he didn't put a lot of effort into designing the exterior here. See what we got here. That looked like any of these could be hollow cubes for the next oh, we got a guard there. I just habitually am like shooting around the corner and we get the cloaked guard. I see another one coming up here around the corner as well. That's fine. This is an easy takedown if you're paying attention. Yep, here we go. More bombs, spikes, impaler, whatever you want to call it. And we've got ledges, and I can hear guards up there. I'm going to guess there's a ton of guards everywhere here. Let's see what we're dealing with. We dropped a Phoenix spot, so if we die, we'll be okay here. Yeah, he's got a bunch of these cannonbacks. Let's take a peek while we're dead here. Yeah, there are tons of cannonbacks and enforcers. Ugh. It's basically a kill box room, which is my least favorite thing to deal with because it's just like, in my mind, it's not creative, but I mean, it gets the job done. It gets you a lot of kills, so I'm kind of thinking maybe we make a run for it because we can see the gen mat there. There's a ton of the sentinel ball things too, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if we can grab our thing here. Yeah, see, well, the shield works great, but with these cannonbacks, there's going to be an exploding bomb anywhere we go after we try and sneak out, so yeah, drop another shield. I'm going to probably need another one. Maybe we use some enhancements. See what we can get with this, yeah, see? Alright, we can use the Phoenix pod, but we're gonna be up here, yeah. Went the wrong way. I'm gonna see if I can grab, so this is the nice thing, right, with the mods that I have on my suit, I can see my ammo and pick it up from further away, so a lot of times if they don't really build into especially the exterior of the base, you can go on the outside and sometimes you can reach your ammo through the walls. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get these, yeah, probably not. So close! Alright, we got one shot and no ordnance. We've used everything up. Oh, which way is the front? Nope, other way. Alright. We probably won't make it. I'm probably gonna have to restart this one. So these kill box rooms I hate with a passion. Well, we'll make a run for it, and that way we at least can see what we're dealing with here. Right, it takes a few seconds. Yeah, a bunch of pistons. It always takes a couple of seconds. You get a couple of free seconds before those wave 2 traps spawn. But yeah, so he's got pistons all along the way there, all firing at the same Right, you can mod them so like you can modify every other one so that they kind of fire out of sync, and I feel like that works better, but it was probably cheaper resource wise for him to build it like that. So let's use some enhancements, see if I can get some more. Do I have anything for more ammo? This is something that's new since I last was playing, which was like when the game first came out in 2023. So yeah, more hardware. That would be nice. Increase maximum amount of hardware. That'd be huge, right? So that could give us 2 extra shields and 2 extra Phoenix pods. Pickup magnet. I'm already pretty good there. Defensive weapon. Another half a second. What does it go up to at the max level? 2 seconds for the best one. So that would potentially make my shield last 2 seconds longer, I guess. I don't know. Hazard resist. He doesn't really have any acid or fire in here. On landing from ground performs a damaging shockwave. I don't see myself ever using that. Movement speed. I don't know. Maybe we just stick with the 30% chance of ammo returning ammunition on headshot. Man, that'd be good for like the crossbow, where you're almost always going for headshots with that thing anyway. We'll do the hardware refund one, because that'd be really nice to be able to have. Right, so I'm just going to use Phoenix pods and shields this whole time. Alright, we remember we got 2 guards here around each corner. So these are going to be easy to deal with. Yeah, so we got 4 of each. We'll get these. These are the easy ones. We'll drop Phoenix pod here. Yeah, and we didn't consume one, so that's nice. Alright, we're going to just make a run for it. And we'll drop a shield. And a new Phoenix pod. Because remember, it goes away. And then we know we gotta try and get around these. Shield. I'm like, it's the cannons, man. It's the cannon backs. They're my shield enemy. Alright, new Phoenix pod. We're gonna have plenty. I got my bolts back from running up there, so that's huge. See if we can, yeah, cannon backs. He must have rate of fire on those guys too, because it doesn't seem like there's that many. He must have a modded for speed there. All right, we can get through. Flamethrower at the end. We're far enough away. I think we're good here. Actually, it wasn't too bad with, well, we used, what, 3 Phoenix pods, probably? So, there you go. It's like, this is one where I'm too, I'm like, there's always one more trap at the end, right? But it doesn't look like it. Sometimes you put something, like, right there, right at the, like, you know, like a bolt, like a tracking bolt shot, right as the person's running away. I don't know, I'm not a fan of maps like that. So we'll give him a brutal because, yeah, that was brutal, but otherwise, I don't... Otherwise, those are my least favorite maps to go through just because it's just... how there's just, to me, in my mind, it's less creative, right? You're just lining walls with, you know, you're making a big kill box room that's just kind of tough to navigate, but you could take the other approach of just going through and slowly killing... you know, slowly getting rid of every single guard before you pick up the gen mat. That would probably make life easier on the way out, but we did it that way. It got it done. That was probably faster the way we did it, even dying a couple of times. So that's going to be our video for the day, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Right, if you're interested in more Meet Your Maker content, let me know in the comments. Make sure you're following the channel. I think this is a unique game. It's fun to play and come back to every once in a while, so that's what I'm doing right now. But make sure you're following the channel. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks again.